Let's wait for some people to come on. This audio working. Good. Boom. Grab the glasses. Over there. Okay. Grab the glasses. Right. My spectacles. It's a soda, guys, not a beer.
I got a notification saying Kevin Bergeron is
I'm doing live right now, buddy.
Live. Can I join it?
Yeah, you can join it.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Get all this stuff popping up here. Excuse me. Let's get all that out of there. There we go. Boom. And where did my live chat go? There it is. Okay. Hey, Brian, how are you? Hope everybody's doing spectacular. Brian, I got some video I have to put up on your bike. I actually got a lot of it done. I've just been working third shift, so I'm working tonight actually, but I haven't done a live because of my computer system's been down. So you're going to see some all kinds of videos that are going to be popping up. As you saw, a couple of them. And then I have a lot of, hi, Andrew. I have a lot of stuff to do up there. So busting these things out and getting these things done. So we have some stuff coming up. So as you can see, I got my new spectacles because with age, your vision goes, but that's okay. Even a blind person can ride a bike. So just matters the length of the stick, you know. So, so how's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? You guys got any projects or any questions on projects you guys get coming up? So I'll tell you, it's this has been weird, not having the computer and all that. It's almost like not being able to do that type of stuff. So, yeah, we're back at it, and we're on. Yeah, it also has been very hot, Brian. You're absolutely right. A lot of the stuff that I've been doing is just small stuff here and there in the house. You guys saw it. And I mean, obviously, when it's 90 degrees, my shed's not air conditioned, so that makes it a little harder to get stuff done. But yeah, it definitely, it's crazy. And I got all kinds of stuff in the big shop right now that's coming out, so I can finish off Ken's bike, and then I got Ken's bike, Robert's bike, and Brian's bike. And Brian, your bike is fighting me unbelievably, but overcoming it. There was a lot of little problems I found with the block and with the motor, and was able to fix them. For instance, there was a couple of stripped out holes. They used a couple of American bolts screws, so someone's been in there before and was able to recap them with the 6, you know, and they were perfect. They just need to be cleaned up a little bit. So luckily they used a shallow screw. They turned it in and it wouldn't go in too far. So I just had to clean up the front of the threads, and then after the mess up threads, it was all good in the way back. So it was awesome. So at least I got that up and going. I am a little late coming on. I had to set everything up for the chat tonight, but I wanted to get one out there for you guys. 8,612 subscribers. This is amazing. I want to say thank you guys. Thank you for all your support. 1.78 million views, which is awesome. Again, which is absolutely amazing to have that many views on a channel that has been down for a little bit, you know. So it's crazy. My report card came out. 181 new subscribers this month, or I should say last month, which is awesome because it does it. You know, you get last month's this month, and then it back feeds. So it's pretty cool. Yeah. So we got some. I'm just amazed. That's all. So yeah, I'm a little tired, a little groggy, but hanging in there, you know. Hey, Dale. So we got what do you call it there? Working on Ken's bike. I got to finish acid washing the tank, and acid wash the tank, new petcock, and which we already have all that, and put the what you call it there, acid wash the tank, new petcock, and clean the carburetor, and his bike is all done. and we got to put oil in the transmission. But I wanted to do that to show you guys on the 175 how the oil goes in and where the level is. So that'll help you guys out if you have a KE 175. Also teamed up with an old buddy of mine who's going to be doing some sponsoring on the videos with some parts for some shop time, and his name is Todd, and you're going to be learning a little bit more about Todd. Todd deals in vintage bikes and is a good source of parts. So Todd is sponsoring the some videos with parts, which is pretty cool. So it's going to be I'm going to be showcasing a lot of his parts and pieces, and you'll be able to see used parts that I get from Todd, and he'll have some ads playing on my videos, and you'll be able to of course order parts directly from him. He comes across a lot of used parts, pretty much like what I was doing when I was buying all my parts bikes and using the parts for the channel. Todd kind of does the same thing, just that he sells his. I don't sell mine. So hopefully that helps. Especially when you get projects and stuff like that, you need an instrument cluster for a Kawasaki or Suzuki or Yamaha or something like that, and he can get one. You need a battery side cover for a CL100. Yeah, that's a cool bike. You'll have to. Right now your option for that would be eBay, and or a place like that, vintage Hondas and stuff. Well, at least with this, with Todd, you'll literally be able to, contact him and say, "Hey, I need a cover for CL100." He can keep a lookout for you. Excuse me, and get that part for you. So that's pretty cool. Hey, Tom. So it's pretty cool to be able to have these type of outlets for parts. And I'm looking to see what other stuff I can do in the vintage motorcycle world that we live in, because parts are getting harder and harder to find. You guys know. You guys deal with the clutch cable. People ask me, do you have an extra clutch cable? I'm sorry, I don't. I don't sell parts, but you know what I mean. So, you can use those type of these type of outlets, and if I can introduce them on the channel, it's a bonus for all of us. A place for me to get parts as well as you. And now right there, my goal for this channel has always been helping you guys get your bikes up and running, get these bikes out and fixed, and just up and running again. And sometimes it sucks because other than my channel, there hasn't been a channel that does these KEs, the KDs, the KM. I mean, luckily now we have Dale Swager back online, and he does restoration stuff, but there's a lot of tech in there. He shows a lot of the nuts and bolts of how the machine work is done and that sort of things. And Dale's a great guy. So keep watching his channel. He's got a ton of great videos and really puts it out there. So I want to say thank you for all my subscribers who've gone over there, hit the subscribe button over there when he posts a video, because it's helping him grow as well. So we're all growing, and as a community, it's not about my channel personally, and that's what I want to reiterate. It's about a community that's growing together. There's still hundreds and thousands of these bikes in back of sheds, in barns, attics, basements, in buckets, parts, milk crates, you name it. These parts are all over the place, and we are trying to extract them and give them new life, if you will. So that's a great thing if we can do that. Having people on our side that can do these type of things is amazing. So I'm pretty happy with that, and I know you guys are too. So on another note, I just dug up the Kawasaki KE100 frame. I've got a lot of the parts and pieces in for that, so we're going to be doing some videos on the KE102 build, and hopefully get that not so much up and running, but I'd like to start the engine at least this year. Real channel is bigger. Yeah, he does. He has a great channel, and he's got a full machine shop. So the guy's amazing. He made seat pans and everything else, everything for boring cylinders, and he's been in the restoration business um, for many years. So it's pretty cool to have that in our arsenal. Dale, with his knowledge of these vintage bikes and putting them together the way he does as well, between the two channels, you can learn a lot. And I also been noticing on YouTube, there's been a lot of KE100 channels popping up, or a lot of people who have been branching out and sharing their experiences. And even on the smaller channels, these men and women who are doing these channels are not, and they always say I'm a mechanic. This is where I'm at. They're learning, and I want to say, get over there, give them some love, hit that subscribe button, and check them out, because this is a community. And if they learn something from my channel and share it on their channel, and someone doesn't see my channel, but they happen to run into theirs and they hit that subscribe, they're learning. So that's awesome. And vice versa with Dale. Maybe I'll do machine. Yeah, he might be able to. That'd be a bad thing. We'll have to, see what we do. I'll bring that up. Yeah, the old Makunis, man. If you can get like there's so many of them, and there's so many bikes that they fit on, like the Y2 Yamaha, the 100. Literally, Brian takes two of our carburetors. There's just two of them, right, sitting right next to each other. Coincidentally, same carburetor on the KV75. There are some variables, like where the needle and seat go, but some of these will work, And I'm looking at other carburetor manufacturers that would work. They're out there. You either get the intake part mounted correctly and the air filter boot area is wrong. It'd be either too big or too small, or it's vice versa. The intake part will fit right on the carburetor, but the back part won't. And then you got, of course, people trying to put the flat slide carburetors on these bikes, and they found a flat slide that mounts onto it. The F box won't fit. The carburetor is too tall or too fat, or it's got some kind of little fitting sticking off of one end, and it just won't work. There's always a problem. So that kind of stinks, I do know that, which I'm going to be showing on some stuff like the DS80 carb. You take that intake, you can turn it around and use a 2-bolt mount, carburetor mount. So, like a newer style carburetor, like you'd find. But once again, the manufacturer used the Mikuni, and it's this big. You buy an aftermarket one, it's either this big or this big, too big. The intake won't fit, or it won't mount on the intake, and then the air cleaner won't fit. So, it's kind of a crazy thing. And then, of course, the jetting. Whenever you buy a Chinese carburetor, what's the first thing you do? You pop the cover off the bowl, you clean out all their residue that they have in there, and then, after you get all that done, you take the jets out and you're looking at the jet trying to find a jet number, and guess what? There is none. They don't even mark it. So how big is this jet? How do you identify it? I identify mine using a wire gauge drill set. I put it in the factory jet, and then I match it up, and then what I'll do is I'll drill out the Chinese jet to whatever I took it off there. I get a lot of people asking me jetting questions lately, and there's no certain jet. You don't just grab a jet and throw it in the carburetor and send the bike down the road. It doesn't work like that. There's a lot of variables with jetting. You can have two completely the same bikes, two KM100s or two KE100s made in different years. They're going to have different baffling. They're going to have a different carburetor setup. Like on the 1980, use a totally different carburetor, totally different jet. you can't just take whatever jet you think should go into it and throw it into it, because you can burn up your motor. So jetting is one of those complicated things, and I've kind of avoided doing videos on it because it's a can of worms. I am going to have to do it this year because of what's going on with my KE102. Once I put that on there, that carburetor is going to need to be jetted. Also, it has a power jet on it, which none of these carburetors came through with. It's something I put on it. So I have to show you guys how to adjust a power jet. So there's going to be some serious tech. And then, what is a power jet? A power jet sits at the air horn where the air starts to go through the carburetor, and at full throttle, that jet right there will put a stream of fuel into the carburetor and allow the engine to richen up. The reason for this is on a carburetor, that needle that goes in the center there, well, as that pulls out, the fuel comes up through that main jet and into the intake. Well, at full throttle, and that needle's all the way up, you're only going to get whatever the jet can go, and sometimes at that transition, you need a little bit more. So the engine will lean out a little bit at the high end. Well, a power jet kicks in where the main jet stops. So the pilot jet is from idle to a quarter throttle. After a quarter throttle, the main jet is responsible for everything after that. So it starts off rich and goes lean. Well, the power jet kicks in and richens up that mixture. So you have like two jets working at the same time, and it gives you a monster amount. It gives you like a boost. You know, at that top end, you're going to increase your power, or your power band, I should say. So that's what I'm working on. My KE102 is going to have that power valve, or the power jet, I should say. So, and if you look at my KE102 build, you'll see that on there. I have that on there on a carburetor that I modified. I'm a Cooney. I'm also using the needle that goes in the center. It's also from a DS 80. And you're probably like, why would you use a DS 80 needle on a KE100? Or what I call the KE100? It's because of the taper of it. It's the same length, but it's got a much broader taper. And it's going to give the bike some real snap to it. It's kind of like a dance in it. Thanks for explaining. Yeah, the power jet, like I said, you can check that out on my KE102 build. I have a carburetor thing on that, and you'll see the power jet on there. It's one of those things that you can install. It's kind of a pain in the neck because our bikes have the cover on it, so I have to make like a little window for it. But I'm going to do it because it's adjustable too. So it's a variable jet, basically what it is. And if you throttle it up too much and the bike is bogging, well, then you got it open too much, you can turn it down, and then vice versa. This is gonna allow you to really fine tune your top end and keep the engine running cool at the same time. So, kind of one of them things. The KE102 bike is a KE100 engine. For those who don't know, is a KE100. Hi, Frank. Is a KE100 engine that has a high compression head. The cylinder is ported out. I did show that in the video. I might take that cylinder back off and clean it up just a little bit more, just to show it on the channel and show you where the power is going to be made on this bike. I also decided to go because it's cool, not because of any other reason other than that, that it's got a high and low gearbox on it. On a newer, the motor that's on it is a 96. It's got 12 volt conversion and CDI. That's hard to do on the KE175 carburetor. Yes, same with the KE100. It is, but you can tune it, and then if you maneuver it enough, you can put it in such a way that you can fit the cover back over it. You just won't be able to adjust it. You'll be, once you adjust it, set it and forget it, and as long as it doesn't move, then you'll be golden. So I got the same problem came with the KE100 or my 102 build. I actually had on the side cover, you got your boot that goes on top where your cables come through. I actually had to make a little window there, and it's going to have a rubber plug over it. So it'll allow me to pop that up, adjust it, put it back down, because on the KE175, if you run it without that cover, you can create a lean condition because it's getting too much air. So it's just a matter of where you place it. I might take mine back apart, place it onto another spot, so I don't have to do that. But it needs to be at the top. So here's your, I don't know if I have anything circular here. I'll use my electrical tape. Here's your intake right here where the air boot goes on to. It has to be up top or at a slight angle, but it has to be in the top portion, or else it will not work. At the very top is ideal. Is the most perfect place for it, but you can go a couple of degrees in either direction. So, and when you buy them, you have to, like on mine, I had to cut mine down because it was stuck in too far, because it's made for a bigger carburetor. But it can be done. So, pretty cool. Oh, geez, what else is there? I'm trying to think if there's anything else on that. No, I can't think of anything. I've been getting asked a lot of questions about CDI ignition lately. And obviously, as I said in many of my videos, from 96 to 2001, people are having a hard time finding them. I can't help that. It's just how the bike market is when you're trying to buy parts. Every now and then they pop up on eBay. You gotta be vigilant. You gotta keep looking. And this is one of those things where Todd would come in with his vintage parts and be able to say, yeah, I'll keep an eye open for you if I get one, and put you on a list and get you that part that you need, like the flywheel, the magneto, the stator, the coil, and all that. I am looking into building a CDI, and I also have a friend who's working on building a CDI unit, which coincidentally is worth more than the bike, or more than half the bike is worth. So that again makes it very, very high. So yeah, it's one of those type of things that it stinks. What else we issue with? Oh yeah, yep. What's this? Did you see Dale issue with this cab fitting cab? Yeah, Dale called me on that. So him and I had conversations on stuff like that. One of the cool things about Dale and I is not just through YouTube. We are friends. We talk on the phone. If he has a question, or if I have a question, he's a phone call away. And it's hard to know everything about every single bike that comes across your table. And so having a backup on either end is a real bonus to have, because he does a lot of Suzuki. I do a lot of Kawasaki. And I do some Suzuki, and as you can see, he does some Kawasaki. But our channels are based on two different completely platforms, which is nice because it gives a more broader spectrum. If everybody was doing the same thing, it wouldn't be really fun to watch. You know what I mean? It'd be more of a, oh, he did this, he did that. And I'm going to say this too, because this is something that needs to be said, is you can have two mechanics doing the same job, and they're going to do it two different ways. So if you're watching Dale's channel and Dale does it a certain way, and you start doing it that way that Dale's teaching you, keep doing it that way. And vice versa, if you're watching my channel and I do it a certain way, keep doing it my way. Don't go back and forth and try to do the same job two different ways. You can mess that up. But in the outcome, you could have two different outcomes, which is not good. So it's kind of a two paths. It's like a low road and a high road. You know what I mean? They're going to get you to your destination, but you got to stay on one of those pathways. And if you go two different routes, you're going to get confused, and it's going to be difficult, because the way Dale does things is not the way I do them, and the way I do them is not the way Dale does them. Some stuff we do alike, but not everything. So, and we come out with the same outcome. All I'm saying is don't get yourself in that pickle where, well, Dale did it this way, and Kevin did it this way, and if I do it in between, I'm going to get to know you can mess that up. You can do a lot of damage doing that. So, it's pretty cool. So, just make sure that whichever one you're watching, you watch that particular video all the way through. And as a reference, always, feel free to ask. But I've had a lot of people watch 5 minutes of a video and try to fix their bike when they should have watched the video in its entirety. And then they start asking me, oh, did you watch the video? Oh, yeah, I watched the video. Did you see the part where I did this and this? No, I missed that because you didn't watch my video. That's what happened. And I can see that on the algorithms when it shows you how much duration people watch. And watch the videos in their entirety. And a lot of times, like when I was doing the CDI, I did the 12-volt conversion. And it was like a multi-part CDI thing. And at the end of that final video, I took a piece of paper and just a regular piece of paper, and I had every single thing, part number, specification, how many zip ties you needed, everything, literally everything. The how to make the bracket for the new what do you call it, the bridge rectifier and regulator. I had the whole thing on there, and I still get people going, what did you do? What part number? Did you get the part number? And it's like, okay, you got to watch that video. You got to watch the whole thing. It's at the end of the video. Oh, I must have missed it. So, and that goes the same thing with Dale's. If you're watching a video, watch it in its entirety. Even if you're not watching the video and you got what you needed out of it, let it play in the background and listen to it, because you'll hear something that, and then you'll rewind it and go, oh, I needed that information. And I get that a lot. I get that a tremendous amount. Oh, I should have watched the whole thing. And it makes it a little difficult when you're trying to tell me, you need the information, and I just gave it to you in the video. So definitely watch the video in its entirety, because that's what they're not only meant for, but I'm teaching you something that's going to potentially fix your bike. So it's easy to get all the information right from the video. And that's, I just had to put that out there. I've been getting a lot of emails, a lot of questions. And I love questions. There is no such thing as a stupid question. But a lot of times I'll be listening to your question, and it was answered in that video that you watched. So please take the time and watch the video in its entirety. I love hanging out and talking with you guys. It's not that. It's just I get a lot of it. Like when I tell you I have, I must get about close to 300 messages a week. I'm roughly just, I would say on the high end of 300 messages a week on questions that were in the videos, and a lot of it has to do with that CDI. The older bikes, it's very difficult to do a CDI for, because the taper on the crankshaft is different. So when you have a flywheel and it mounts onto the crankshaft, what ends up happening is there's a taper right there. And if the taper pitch is wrong, you're going to be sharing flywheel keys. They won't fit. A source for 6-volt lights on older bikes? You mean light bulbs, or do you mean like headlight? The headlights on these bikes are stupid money. They're about $60 used, and that's a gamble. Oftentimes, the lights burn out because, I'll tell you why the headlight burns out. The headlight is supposed to be on the bike for the life of the bike. Unfortunately, it doesn't last that long because the battery's bad. Okay, yep, the headlight. So, most common thing, the headlight blows and nobody could find one. The headlight blew because the battery wasn't connected, or the battery was junk. Either the battery's junk or discharged, or it wasn't working. So the headlight is, not the headlight, the battery is there to take that high current coming out of the alternator. When there's no battery, the alternator, or stator, I should say, is in full AC mode. So you get AC current, AC voltage, which is higher than DC. When it goes through the voltage regulator, it cuts it down to 6 volts, and it cuts it down to the amperage and stuff that the bike requires. However, the battery is what turns that on. So if the battery's not there, it acts as a voltage regulator. It's a perfect thing, a perfect thing. It takes it and converts that AC current, which is what diodes do, to DC current. That right there, without that battery, there's no damper, there's no shock. Hey, Dale. So you have to use that bike, the batteries in these bikes. The lighting charging system is completely and utterly separate from the ignition system. The ignition system is on a charge coil all the time. You can literally run a bike if you had no keys to the bike. If you lost your keys, you could just unplug your magneto, take a jumper wire, go from there right to the coil, and bam, and you're all set. The bike will fire right up. You just won't have none of your accessories will work, but the bike will run. The headlights, I don't know what bike you have, if it's a KE 100 or what size bulb it is, but they go $40-$50. I've seen them up as high as 70. It's one of those things. They're rare and they don't go. Unfortunately, I have a box of them, but I don't sell them because I get so many bikes. It's very hard to get something like that, especially when you're dealing with the quantity bikes that we deal with. So those type of things are gold. So, but I can't believe it's Tuesday already. I'm like, oh my god, I got a two-star chat today. Like, oh man, we gotta do this. Yeah, I haven't had one in a while. I've been super busy. I was, what do you call it there? I had some news last time. We were planning on moving to Florida. We decided not to right now, and we're going to stay where we're at just because of the way the economy and everything else is, and it just made more sense to do that. So, we're staying here, but we're going to be doing some cool stuff, guys. We are 8,600 subscribers is amazing to me. So, and once again, thank you guys. Thank you for your support with all that. At 9,000, I think we should do a Milwaukee tool giveaway. I was thinking about getting another set of the 3/8 impact and the 3/8. What do you call it there? The 3/8 and the 1/4-inch impact that I use on the channel, you see all the time. I was thinking about giving 2 of those sets away. So that'll be coming up when we hit 9K. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoy doing the videos. I'm not going to lie. When I first started out, if you guys watched the channel from the beginning, I have a few of you guys who have been with me since video 1. It's difficult because I'm not a video guy, and I sometimes you get the crap, like, oh, you should have taken a better angle at this, or you should. I'm the camera guy. I'm the editor. I'm the whole shebang. I don't have a whole movie crew behind me doing these videos, and with the amount of money we get from YouTube, is God knows we can't afford that. Unless you start off with a huge channel. The only guys who can do that is car guys or talk guys. So it makes it, yeah, Dale. You're lucky if you make, $300 a month, at my level. So it's difficult. And so, we do the best we can. We put out the best content we feel that we can do. And we answer as many questions to fill in any of the gaps in between. And one of the things I pride myself on this channel is I'm an easy guy to get in contact with and talk with you guys on the phone, through text, through email. And, Dale, it's awful. It's awful. And it's just one of those things. It's like you put, when you factor in the tools, buying bikes, buying parts. I mean, none of this is covered by YouTube. This is all out of pocket. Dale and I were the same. Everything that he's doing is out of his pocket, and all that knowledge he's sharing with us and you, and it's just it's hard. It's hard. It's one of those. It's like, okay, what do we have to do? So, I had. Thank you, and we are. So, one of the things, I'm at the point in the channel where I have to make some decisions because I have to be able to support the channel and support the content and be able to do these type of things. And one of the things that came up was the Patreon account. What is Patreon account? Basically, it's a paid membership where that would be you would pay for a membership, and then it would go to a what do you call it there? I'd make special videos, and only the Patreon members could receive. This channel is not based on that. This channel is not about sheltering half of my audience to make a profit. It's not about that at all. This is a community of bikers, and we have to stick together. So what I decided I'm going to do, and after giving it multiple things of thought, is well, PayPal would be better, Tom, which is cool. But here's the problem with PayPal, is I use my PayPal for other things. And I want to keep YouTube and my stuff completely separate. And then it would just create, I have to keep track of everything else. And not so much, I wouldn't really technically have to if you wanted to say that. But I would, because content versus life, I want to keep them separate. So what I was thinking, that'd be cool, Tom. What I was thinking about doing is doing a GoFundMe page where, and this is the other part that we're coming. Some people don't want to have a $20 membership. Some people don't want to, they're broke like us, they can only do $3 or $4. Or they can do, some are better off, they can do $15, $20. So whatever they feel that the content is worth to them, and they want to share some of that with us creators to help us grow and make more content. Basically, a supporter. So I was thinking about opening up a GoFundMe page, and I'm going to be doing that pretty soon. And I'm just going to let the money build up in there, and then as it goes, then I can do that. And if that works, then we'll keep that going for now until we get to that point. The channel's coming up on a transition period where we're coming up on 10K, where we're I want to say we're like 1,400 subscribers away from 10K, which is, and it's going quick. So you figure how long it took me to get here and how it grows so fast. At 10K, I'm going to be doing some super cool stuff. One of those things is I'm going to be doing giveaways. One of my giveaways for that would be I would come to your place and work with you for 8 hours on your bike and get your bike going. So that'd be one of the things that would be given away, one of those. Some meet and greets, and I do plan on hitting some, what do you call it there? Some shows this coming year, not 2020, 2023. I'd like to hit some motorcycle shows, meet and greets, and do some stuff like that. I got some great ideas. I also want to do some apparel. So it's difficult right at the present moment. But, these goals, we can really take this channel to something amazing. And for me, it's out of my comfort zone because this is not, I don't ask for money. You know what I mean? I don't ask the support. And I read the comments every time I, my phone stuff. I like comments, and it's all the same thing. It's a thank you. It's this. It's amazing, and I can't help it. And I'm blown away by all the support. So I want to be able to give that back. Oh, my feed's a little choppy. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I'm in a darker area. Maybe a PO box. Yeah, maybe a PO box. No, I don't use those JIZ or JIS screwdrivers. The number 3 works fine. I've been using it for a long time. Oh, hold on a second. Let's see if I can check this site here. All right, how's that? Is that any better? Is that good? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Awesome. Thank you. All right. What's this say? Kevin, yeah, I mean, and that's what I want to do when I get to that point, is be able to meet you guys, get out there, and have some one-on-one time, crank out some wrenches, and it'd be awesome. Oh, now it's crap again. I don't know what's going on. I might have a bad connection in here. It's starting to storm outside. Thank God we need some rain. Oh, let's see here. Oh. I think it's just the weather out there. It's been I'm in my room and I'm getting the wireless from the other side of the house. What's going on? Really not that bad. Okay. Well, let me know if it gets unbearable. Because I think it's the internet connection, because we're having some bad weather. And it's on the other side of the house, because I'm in my room right now. So, but yeah, I mean, the channel's growing, and we need to the times, and we need to step up. There's a lot of big boys. I'm working on doing my intro, which I should have done a long time ago. The intro, I had a couple of them. I'm gonna have myself AEs with the exhaust smoke blowing, and one of the ideas was smoke them if you got them, and that was one of them. And then I was going to do Just Kick It, which is basically a Kickstarter and a force to life, but in that frame it's going to be a quick one, and then there's going to be a bunch of other ones. So pretty cool. A bunch of other bikes just kicking them. 2-stroke oil. I've used AMSOIL. I love it. It's great oil. I've used the Kawasaki Team Green and the Yamaha. And to be honest with you, they're all great oils. You get the full synthetic 2-stroke oils, and the low, obviously the new stuff. You don't want to use the old low ash or any of that type of stuff. And use a good quality 2-stroke oil. You're going to have a long longevity. But and honestly, between the AMSOIL and the Yamaha, or actually any lube, really, you put oil in there, the only thing you're going to notice is less or more smoke. You're not going to notice any power difference with the oils. They'll turn me on to... Yes, that's also good. Yep, the smelling oil. Yeah, the smelling oil, which is nice, because then you're getting lubrication. Hey, Larry. I am. I'm Dr. Horsepower Larry. Dr. 2-stroke over here. I should be wearing a white coat with a pocket protector, a pen, and a ruler. There you go. Two-Stroke Tuesday. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun, and I enjoy doing it. I enjoy these meets, and now the computer's up and going, we're going to be doing this a lot more, so which is nice. Even if we're not doing projects, we're going to at least try to do the Two-Stroke Tuesdays just to get there with the community and get out there, you know. It's hard sometimes, you know. Now I'm working third shift, so when I end this at 9 o'clock, I got to take a nap for a couple hours and then go to work. So, which is actually helping me out. So, I can't complain, and I enjoy it. So, pretty cool. But yeah, we're gonna get. Oh man, I'm telling you, we got some stuff, and I can't wait to some more videos. I'll be doing Frank, you know why you need the smell oil? It's not because you're eating. Because you're going so fast and the smoke is like so quick you can't tell it's smoking on. That's something more like it. You know, so you need to smell it to let you know that it's cooking back there. You know, you hang on to those handlebars and you're 50 feet in the air. You know, then you let go of the handlebars and you grab hold of the back of the seat and then get back on the bike when you're up 50 feet in the air. You know, and then come back down. That's why you need to smell oil. It sounds a whole lot better. Man, I love bikes. Castro, yeah, Castro. I actually just saw an empty quart of that. Dale, you talking about the one that was in the metal can when you had to use that little spigot thing that goes on it and dump it in that way? I saw one of those the other day in an old garage we were tearing down. I was helping a friend of mine tear down a shed, and it had an old can. I was going to grab it, but someone already threw it out. There's nothing like it. The two-stroke bike is one of the most. This generation never knows this. They will never know how great it is on a two-stroke. They will never feel that type of torque that two-stroke puts out. You know, you just don't get it. And now they're all these ugly-looking four-stroke bikes. Oh, put your hand. Mileage stuff, yeah. You know, the four-stroke bike is a good bike. But realistically, a two-stroke is so much better because it has one, less moving parts, two, it has more power to weight ratio, three, it's stupid light. You can throw that thing into a corner way better than you can a top-heavy four-stroke that's going to dump you in the ground, you know? It's awful. Yeah, that's a lot of the metal. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, Dale. I know exactly which one you're talking about. Those were the days. In fact, I still have somewhere my little thing you stab into the can, the funnel, and you could pour it in. And if you didn't have that, you took your can opener from your kitchen, your mom would be pissed. And dump it in that way to a funnel. What do you think of Electron? They're torquey. Honestly, if you're riding a bike and it doesn't have wang, 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 it ain't a bike. Sorry, it's part of the experience. The only way I'd want an electric bike is if Milwaukee M12 or an like an M18 was making it. You know, literally, an electric bike is just. We didn't do with that. I'd be afraid to get electrocuted riding in the rain. Then your battery goes. The battery costs more than the bike. Yeah, it's just there's no fun in that. You know, there's no fun in. You know, this fun of. You know, hey Dale, what kind of modifications are you doing to your bike? Oh, Kevin, I'm doing this. How about you? Oh, I'm doing this modification. Same conversation with an electric bike. I put a belt on there. Yeah, there's no fun in an electric bike. They're not even cool to look at. one of the cool things is there's nothing better than looking at cooling fins. It's like I don't even like liquid cooled bikes because the looks are gone. A radiator doesn't belong on a two-stroke bike. We need air cool, we need fins, we need that crisp snap, we need the smoke, we need the thrill of the throttle, and just go, you know. Those are what we need. Electric bikes just don't have it. Church key to open metal. Yep. Yep. Those were the days. Yeah, the electric bikes. Harley's making a couple. Honestly, though, okay, on the electric bike, I'm going to say one more thing and I'm going to let that go after that. Would you want to go to an all-electric motocross event? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Whole bunch of Black & Deckers going by you. Nope. Cordless drills. Zoom. Chinese junk. Zoom. Nope, I'm good. I wouldn't either. There's no thrill in that. And not only that, not want to see anybody 50 feet up in the air on a battery-powered bike. Not that it could go up that high, but if it could, and they come down and blow that battery to pieces. No, I'm so good. I'm good. I'm good. Hard pass. It's Tesla. I don't even like Tesla. The cars just look so like no, there's nothing fancy. If you spend $60,000 on a car, it should at least look $60,000 worth. I have a Mazda 3, and it's a 2020. It's a $28,000 car brand new. So, up the hood, send it off to a place that is electrical engineer. Not to mention, I go to Walmart to buy my battery. It's $120. You have to replace the battery on an electric car. You're looking at $14,000. Get past me here. Electric units go crazy. That's another thing I wouldn't want to be on. A unicycle. I don't care if it's pedal, gas, or electric. I mean, those kids, the kids' toys are fun. I had a little electric dirt bike, a Razor. My daughter rode around the yard, and I rode a couple times. It was fun, but it's not something that's going to last you all day. The Razor lasted, I think it was like 30 minutes, and then the battery started going down. And you got to charge it back up again. And either way, you're burning gas. I see the little hoverboards that people have, little scooter boards. You got the one wheel in the middle and bikes need an air cooled two-stroke. Yeah, that's what you need. Air cooled. It's awful. It's far across my eyes. Look at this. But yeah, no, I mean, everybody's got their own thing. It is disposable. It absolutely is, and it's disposable. It's not. Never once is anyone ever going to pull an electric bike out of a barn 60 years ago. Oh my God! You'll never hear that. You'll never hear that. 60 years ago, electric bike, oh, that thing's junk. But if you pulled a dirt bike out of a barn 60 years from now, you're going to lose your ever-living mind. Oh my God, look what I just found. I found the Holy Grail, and that's saying something, because there is still, to this day, so many bikes in sheds, in barns, undiscovered, and it's our job to rescue them. It's our job to get them going. It's our job to bring them back to life, to blow smoke again, to give them another chance. Oh, cool. Welcome. What's the video? I was there. Yep. It's it's just amazing, you know. Don't for 1 second ever think that someone's gonna pull an electric bike out. Cool. It's not. It's not cool. They're neat when they're new, but other than that, looking forward to the next. Oh yeah, that's gonna be. We put the case on the PC when shifting is so out of whack. We saw the shaft and the movement. Something let go inside that gearbox. So, and one of my subscribers, if you saw in the first one, sent me up a really cool case splitting tool that I'm going to be using on it, and I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty cool about that. I think it's awesome. And he wanted to help out. He bought himself one. It was a cheap tool, and he loved it. He watched one of my videos, split the case, and then he's like, Kevin, I got to send you up one of these. Thank you for helping me out. You're going to like it. And it even came with a cool bonus tool. It pulls the crank into the case. So a crank installation tool, which I've always used mallets and stuff like that, which is risky, but I've always done it that way. So it's pretty cool doing it that way. So let's see. Yep, I'm packing up a 1984 200 Big Red. Oh, nice. Yep, that's a good chance. That's a good bike. Harvey Spooner's got a bunch of those. I'm always watching Harvey now. Going into your channel. Oh, cool. Thank you. Yeah, Harvey Spooner is a good friend of mine. I'm sure you saw some of my stuff on there. I've been at his place and picked up some stuff, and so that's cool. Riding a GT400, loving it. Yep, Dale, we actually got one on the channel that we're working on right now. I got to finish up. I just got the forks. What do you call it there? There was some pitting in there, and they filled in the pits, and all polished back up. So, in fact, you can't even tell where it was done. It is missing some content on it because it didn't record properly, but I do have it, and I'll show you guys when I go do that video on that on Robert's bike. So his bike is pretty much just the front end, the back end, and the kickstand, and that's it. That's done. So I'm hoping to get that done in a couple weeks and get that out of here. And I got to put the tires on, and that's all I got left on that bike. So, and we're just going to bust these bikes up, and then after that, I'll be working on a lot of my projects and the motors. I got 2 motors I have to do. I'm going to switch to DC 120. Crank open. Oh, nice. An RB90. That's the fat tire bike, ain't it? The RB90. Those are nice bikes. The Suzuki's. I love those bikes. I'd like to get my hands on one. Yep, the fat tire bike. Yep, I know which one you're talking about. Those are great for the beach. Those are great beach boots. Just make sure you run an air filter on that thing, not that cone filter. Especially if you're going to take it on the beach with sand. Is there a year of motorcycle production that you don't want to work on? No. No. If it's got 2 wheels and what do you call it there? I'm open to anything, really. I mean, everything from mopeds to mini bikes to scooters, even the Chinese scooters. I don't particularly care for the Chinese stuff. In fact, back on the Harvey Spooner thing, I was working on one of my Chinese. I put a Chinese 125 motor on a 4-wheeler, and I just lost it. There was nothing. It didn't do nothing for me. It's basically someone copying someone else, and it really just turned me off. So what I did was Harvey Spooner was interested in it, so we made some swaps and all that type of stuff. The Chinese stuff is okay, but it doesn't do nothing for me. But other than the Chinese stuff, Frank, pretty much open to all years. I mean, everything from Clamp, Harleys, everything. I'll work on it. Slow 2-strokes. Yep. 2-stroke. You should get a lot of power out of them if you port the cylinder correctly. Too big, you lose power. A little bit more than factory. It's the same copy. Everything's nothing is changeable. The irrigation systems, the cranes, flywheels, they're all different. So it ain't like you can use it on. Oh yeah, have a good one, Kane. Thank you. Yeah, I have a choppy. I have a what do you call it there? An LB50, and I got a second LB50 from a another garage. I need to work on it, and all this stuff. So it's in the shed for a while. I got a lot of bikes. I gotta stop wrenching on them. So I need to clean up. I got a lot of bikes. I was younger, and I really want to get back up. So and it's really nice to ride again for the first time after so many years. And since the time I registered it, and the in fact, to look at the pilots he would use it, he robbed mirrors off at the seat and the rack off the back, which was another rack. He didn't do nothing with it. So everything on the bike was as it was when I sold it to him. So getting it back, I had to acid wash the tank real quick, and new petcock. I modified the what do you call it, the charging system, and threw a battery in it and flushed out the carbs. I didn't rebuild the carbs. I need to rebuild them, but I just flushed them out. I just wanted to hear a run on both of her carbs, make sure her lungs were clear, and they were, and it ran just like it did when I sold it, and it was a blessing to take that for a ride up the street. And I can't wait to do some riding with it next year. I'm not gonna be able to do much riding this year because of all the stuff that's going on, but next year I'll be riding everything I own, and they'll be on video. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Choppy signal. Yep, I got a couple of those. Those are a dime a dozen. Those choppy turn signals. You can get those right on eBay all day long. $10 for a pack of 4. So yeah, they're pretty cool. They're pretty easy to get. So it does, actually, if you live in the United States of America, titles are easy for you to get. Doesn't matter what state you live in. It doesn't matter what part of the country you live in. And here is the secret to that, Frank. I'm going to share it with you right here. Vermont. Yep. You can go right to Vermont.com, the great state of Vermont, and you can register any bike you want in Vermont, or car, RV, whatever, and they will send you the plates, a title, a registration, and the whole thing, and you'll be able to ride that bike. And then what you do is you take the title to your state that you live in and say you'd like to register the bike. Here's my clean title, and register it. As long as the following: the bike is not stolen, okay, and it's not a newer bike. So if the bike is under 2000, the year 2000, you can do that. If it's over that, then you're going to have a little bit of an issue, but not too bad. You'll have to get what they call a bonded title, and it's a little bit of money you put aside. And this right here is for the it'll clear itself out eventually. But what happens is you take a bond out on the bike, and if the bike comes back stolen, or what do you call it there, or registered to someone else, you'll have to do bonds to get the situation cleared up. Yeah, so crazy. I'm going to see what you for the next video. Have no bond process. It was in Arizona, 2000. Yeah, I'm talking about in where I get my stuff from is they have one titles here. Yeah, so you get pain, but it's one of those things. Is the bike worth the pain? Yeah, no. I mean, how long are you going to bond the title for? It's not going to be bonded for its entirety, which is nice, especially do in Vermont, and everything comes back clear, then you can just, kind of wash your hands with all that. But it's an option. And the other thing you do is if you have a nice bike, I hate to say it, and it comes back clean and it's not stolen, you could buy a frame with a title and just transfer the stuff onto it. Sounds good. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for coming. Having a bond title is not the end of the world, although it is a pain in the butt. And it also, in some states, could affect on your insurance. So make sure you do that as well. But typically, like I know in New Hampshire's really cool. I've had a couple. I received a stolen bike one time, and what I was able to do is I said to the officer, what happens now? He goes, well, it's been stolen for so long. Let me get their information and see if they even want to do anything with the bike. And they said they did not. The bike was already paid for through insurance. So paid for it through insurance, they can't technically take it back because that would be a what do you call it, a fraud or something like that. So they go back to the insurance company, and it's already been written off long ago. It's free and clear, and I was able to register the bike, so without any issue, and fixed it and did that. So always, whenever you get a used bike that has no paperwork, okay, one of the things you can do is take the VIN number down and call the police department. They can run it in their database, and it will tell you if it's hot or not. If it's hot, then you take the next steps. Don't feel like you're going to get arrested if you see a hot bike, okay? The police departments, in my experience, have always been really great. I'm looking at a bike. He got it from a guy who got it from a guy who got it from a guy. What do I have to do to get this bike? And they'll look at it and then make a few phone calls. And if the bike is current and needs to be taken, well, then they have the right to do that. Fine. But if not, because I mean, obviously, if the bike is freshly stolen or within a couple of years, you definitely don't want to take someone else's ride away from them, no matter how good of a deal it is, because you wouldn't want that done to you. So keep that in mind when you're doing these type of things, But 1974, older write-off, no title, no registration. Yep, you could easily do that. 1974, you're going to have no issue getting a title or anything from Vermont. Most old bikes don't have the 17. Yep. So they can still, I know in Vermont and New Hampshire, they fill it in with a few letters before and after it, like year, make, and model, and they're able to do it that way. I had a, what do you call it? Yeah. Well, here's a funny story. It says on my Kawasaki my Kawasaki KD80 that it's for off-road use only. So as a wise guy, I decided I was going to take the VIN number that's there and see about registering on road. Like I said, it cannot be registered for on road. It's off-road only. Well, wouldn't you know that New Hampshire would allow me to register my KD80 on road? I would just have to put lights on it. That was amazing. And they like, yeah, we just need the letters before it, and it would fall into the moped category. So, interesting. Not a moped. I'd probably get pulled over because it looks like a dirt bike, smells like a dirt bike. It had a moped tag on it. I guess if I had the registration, okay. If you put the for off-road only, it could end up with problems even for registration. You didn't think you were. I know, right? These are good questions, and I have an answer for them. So if I have an answer for them, it'd be a sin not to share them. Because, like I said, Frank, enjoy bikes. And the funny thing is, you guys do. I buy bikes all the time, and I get bikes all the time. Some bikes I get for free, and like one of my friends does cleanouts. Okay, so here's one for you. I got an MT 250 Honda. Okay, and it's a happy case. Not gonna lie about it. It's not like you get on the bike, turn key. It was an old but it was unreadable. So, okay, what do? So you have to, as a doing what we do in our field, we have to look in these things and say, hey, what are my options? What can I do to make this work? What can I do to get this bike so I can legally ride it on the road? Because owning a bike is one thing. If there's a thrill in just buying a bike, the thrill of the hunt. You went on Craigslist, you went on Marketplace, you went through swap meets, and you found the bike. I love this particular bike. This is my bike. So you no problem, whip out the cash. Here you go. Boom. Bike's mine. Now, you get the bike home, you're tinkering with it, you get it all fixed up. Now what do you do? Yeah, the Elsinore 250. That's gonna be that needs a lot of work, but it'll work. We'll get it going. We will. And the Elsinore 250, you get the bike, you're like, wow, I want to ride this on the bike. So you find loopholes, you find avenues that you can travel down to get these bikes back on the road, and it's amazing because, like the Elsinore 250, that right there, I didn't even know I was going to get that bike. That bike showed up at my house from my scrap guy. It's like, Kevin, I got a bike for you. What? I have a bike for you. And you don't like it. I like all bikes. So, he opens up the door and there's an Elsinore strapped to the wall. Are you out of your mind? So, yeah, I was pretty pumped. And the condition of the bike, for the most part, is excellent. It had a box of parts with all the parts and pieces. Well, 90% of them. The engine, they did some really bad stuff too. I mean, really bad. I'm looking for another case, but I'll talk to my buddy there, Todd, and see what he can come up with. But I mean, everything on the bike is in excellent condition. It has a lot of new hardware, a lot of parts and pieces, gaskets, lights. I mean, fixtures, everything. I was able to get the keys for it. I mean, I really can't go wrong. Someone fell in love with this bike and started working on it, and for whatever reason, whether it be they had to move and they couldn't take it with them, or whatever the case may be, this bike right here was left for dead, and it was headed to the scrap. And because of the people that I put myself in my circle, well, we're gonna make a special trip to Kevin's house with this bike and the parts and pieces, and then I'll go back to work and clean out the rest of the place. And that's exactly what happened. And there was some extra tools in there. I mean, it was a great experience, and I love getting them like that. That's amazing. But once again, you get a bike. What do you do with it? What's the first thing you're gonna do with it? You're gonna have to find a way to register it. You're gonna have to find a way to ride this thing on the road. Knowing these little loopholes, and I'm happy to share them with you guys. I tell you, it's easy. Vermont, out of all places, would allow you to do that, but they do, and I'm grateful that they do, and that they have the trouble, because it doesn't matter what part of the country you live in. I honestly do. So, pretty cool. Got my new glasses. My eyes are bugging out. But, yeah, no, I can't wait. I mean, the bike looks like a fun bike. It's in excellent condition, and I can't wait to work on it. It's going to be. If I get the Elsinore 250 is a bike that I'm planning on soaking some money into and be part of my Honda collection. Because I got the little Honda 50, the Z50. I got to send that frame off to Dale now that we're not moving. I got to get that sent off to him so him and I can do the restoration on that. So I'll have my Z50, my CT70 Silver Tag, my Honda 350 with the 360 engine on it, and the Elsinore 250. Excuse me. Elsinore 250. So for Yamahas, my Virago, my Chapter, and the those, and more than for Kawasaki's, like a KM100, the KM100, the KV75, the MT1, and MC1, the KE 90 I built. That's my own bike, and the KD. Maybe Kevin, why don't you get a KD 100? I kind of have that with my KM 100. It's the same bike, pretty much. Just that my KM has all the lights, all the bells and whistles. I can ride that on the road. So I was actually thinking about putting the 80 off and putting a 100 onto that frame. But then I'll have three 100s that ride in the 80s. And the 80 is a very powerful bike. So I'm like, I'm going to get my 80 on my 80 and keep it up. But coming up. A couple of things that the 80 is going to get as I can, and I put some light on that. Just a headlight and a light. So there's a couple of things that you can see. Other than that, I can't see anything that I want to teach about the bike. So I can put those things on there. The tail light and the different tail light. Well, I might go with a Suzuki tail light and headlight. So we're working on that. If I can find a Suzuki tail light, that's light on there. But those fixtures right there, and it won't be a brake light. It won't have all the wiring. It would just be a light that stays on continuously. Storm hiking up. Oh, really? Yeah, it's amazing. Tom, we've gone weeks with just tremendously high 90s in the 90s, and just a dryness, like desert-like weather here in New England, which is not common. And then it goes from that to scattered storms, rainstorms, thunderstorms, lightning storms. And the other night, it was a clear sky. Well, not fully clear. It had some clouds. And you could literally see the lightning just streak across it. It was just amazing. Never seen anything like it. Yeah, it probably is. But I'm going to be going anyway because it's 9 o'clock, guys. So I'm going to cut it off here. But I do want to say thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on these Two Stroke Tuesdays and watching the channel and all your support. Yeah, it is. Yeah, in Montana. Yeah, exactly. I saw that too on there. So, just once again, guys, thank you for hanging out with me and thank you for your support. It means a lot to me, and of course, not just to me, but the growth of the channel and as a whole. So, you guys have been great, and it's funny because when I see the Two Stroke Tuesday, I get all the same people on here, and it's just like a group session, So I really look forward to it. I want to say thank you guys from my heart. So I really appreciate it. So I'll talk to you guys later. As always,